Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, a halt to ferry services between Dominica and the French departments as France shuts down its borders. Consumer Rights Day activities scaled down because of the COVID-19 concerns, and opposition leader pledges to join the fight against the coronavirus. The details coming up.
Away $30,000 in cash,
oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et vite joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Caribbean nationals hoping to travel via ferry to French territories will have to wait indefinitely to do so. Here is Andrea Louis with a report.
The move by l'Express des Îles in response to an announcement by French President Emmanuel Macron on Monday to close the borders at the entrance of the European Union and the Schengen area. This means that travel between non-European countries and the European Union will be suspended for 30 days. Marketing manager for HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, under which l'Express des Îles operates, says the measures came into effect on Tuesday, 17th March, with mixed responses from the traveling public.
L'Express des Îles has taken the step of cancelling all ferry services effective today, Tuesday, 17th of March. So that includes the stop of the international line and the cancellation of the ferry service between Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique and St. Lucia until further notice. People were actually inquiring into when will the ferry service stop its operations? Because there's a bit of a frantic atmosphere. However, there are some negative comments in the sense that more notice could have been given, but that goes beyond the operation of the Express Detail. We are simply following the mandates of the French president.
The cancellation of the ferry service among the four countries is expected to deal a noticeable blow to that branch of income generation. Despite this developing situation, Joseph says there is another avenue through which people can travel to the French countries. However, this is in effect until Sunday, 22nd March.
Having the ferry service stop for 30 days, I think you can imagine the impact that it will have on the company. The director and management of L'Express will have their guidelines and policies in place that in the eventuality that something like this or any other natural disaster may occur, or not natural disaster, but anything out of the way occurs, that there are contingencies in place to combat it. Speaking on behalf of Air Antilles, for our travel agency, they will be in operation until Sunday. So passengers who, especially the French nationals who need to return to their respective islands, they are able to use this avenue.
Joseph reassures the public that L'Express des Îles always follows a strict sanitization policy, which was further enhanced in light of the COVID-19 pandemic.
On a regular basis, I can speak to the fact that there is a sanitization policy that we follow strictly, and with the introduction of this disease, steps were taken to be even more careful. The staff were advised as to what they do in the event that you're out there in the water and you realize that someone may be exposed to this virus. In terms of sanitization, we were up to the T, trying to ensure just the overall safety of our passengers, and not only them, but the members of the countries that they're going to, because we know that travel is one of these, the major influencers, or should I say, it's causing the disease to spread faster.
Ticket holders are being informed that their ticket is valid for 1 year from the date of purchase, and the date change on the ticket will be complimentary.
Meantime, talks are ongoing with the French embassy to help individuals displaced by the recent cancellation of L'Express des Îles ferry services. Operations Supervisor of L'Express des Îles, Hans Victor, says negotiations are underway with the French embassy for at least one vessel to travel between the four countries to help nationals return home.
In an effort to repatriate persons, obviously, we will have French nationals and other nationals that are stuck here as a result of this decision. L'Express des Îles and the French embassy right now are in discussions in order to get a waiver from the French government to allow Express des Îles to depart Guadeloupe, to come to Dominica, pick up passengers, drop them off in Martinique or St. Lucia or wherever. At the same time, we will piggyback on that decision and on that transaction in order to assist persons who are stuck in Guadeloupe, Martinique or St. Lucia, Dominicans especially who are stuck in Guadeloupe, Martinique or St. Lucia, to come back home. So it's going to be a win-win situation if the French government gives the okay for Express des Îles to go out and repatriate their nationals.
As regards ART, which serves an alternative route for travel to the French overseas departments, Victor says individuals are taking advantage of the flights which are available until Sunday.
This morning, our doors will open at 8 o'clock, and we had a flow of passengers there already, coming to inquire and to get information. They were directed to the airline department, which is very next door, and they were given the information. I think I have confirmation that quite a few of them have gotten information, and they're leaving. Some of them are leaving today. There's a flight going out, I believe, at 10:15 sometime this morning to Martinique. So I believe there are some of them who are going to go today. But they have the information, and we also direct them to our travel department to get information on flights, possible flights out.
General Secretary of the Public Service Union has made a case for greater consideration to be given to healthcare workers who will be on the front lines in the fight against the COVID-19 virus. Thomas later told a national consultation on COVID-19 conditions of work for these frontline employees must be negotiated and agreed to in advance in the interest of fairness and natural justice. Later says the union should have been invited to a special meeting to discuss its concerns and the proposed far-reaching changes to the conditions of employment.
In order to lend full support to any activities being contemplated to address coronavirus, it would require us to be issued with a plan which clearly reflects our input and which addresses our given consideration to our members' well-being. Wherever we feel strongly about the matter, which is not included in a protocol for public officers, we will advise accordingly. Our concerns include the safety and well-being of all public officers, especially health workers and those working at our ports of entry.
The union leader says while DPSU supports efforts to fight the disease, it will not compromise on certain demands.
Provision of proper and approved personal protective equipment. Proper usage of personal protective equipment to avoid cross-contamination and risk not only to the public officers themselves, but to members of the public. Fair and reasonable remuneration to be agreed by the union after negotiation. What we find is happening is, even as we speak now, nurses are being approached and certain discussions are being held with them. We believe this is a matter for the union.
The union put forward a number of other concerns, including adequate psychological assistance for health workers, an approved budget to provide care and training and screening at ports of entry. Later also called for government to stop direct negotiation with individual public officers and instead negotiate with the union. Dominicans being called upon to go beyond the call of duty in the national fight against the COVID-19 virus. The Ministry of Health says to date there is no known case of the virus in Dominica, but the Prime Minister says what's needed is cooperation at a national level and not battles with each other.
If this virus impacts and gets out of control, there will be no revenue in the country, and there will be no country. My sincere advice to Mr. Later in particular is be careful you do not, in your own excitement, overdo. This is a national crisis. A national crisis that demands a national response. Nonetheless, I will say that government is mindful of your stated concerns and will take note with a view to addressing and resolving in the period ahead. And I wish to make clear that Dominica is a country of limited resources. Limited resources. Dominica's traditional friends are also impacted by the coronavirus. Dominica will have to grapple with COVID-19, or Dominica will sink under COVID-19.
The Prime Minister says COVID-19 is already impacting the country in very real ways.
We were supposed to have been in Japan in the month of February, for example, given a classic example, to witness the signing of a contract to repair both the Marigot and Rosa fisheries complexes to the tune of over $10 million US. And this has been set aside because our officers are unable to travel to Japan. And of course, for the threats to their own safety, health-wise. I want to make it clear that I understand the state concerns of the trade unions. But I wish to share a secret with my brothers. This virus was not planned.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Si ou ni maladie HIV et bien maladie sexuelle, si ou pas protéger corps lors ou ni sexe avec plusieurs monde, ça kay mette la vie ou en gros danger. Ou ka expose tout partenaire au présent et que tant qu'il ka vini avec maladie. Servez yon condom chaque fois ou ka ni sexe. Change qui est important pour découvrir maladie à bonheur ou ça vivre en bonne santé même si ou ni maladie HIV. Pour responsabilité, protéger corps et puis les autres. Examiner corps. Aider du bout si même maladie HIV et l'autre maladie sexuelle.
With Flow, when a bag of money cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. And mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. Leader of the United Workers' Party has stated his commitment to helping the country fight the coronavirus, COVID-19. Mr. Linton says the UWP supports all the hygienic and social distancing practices being developed and circulated.
We will also be encouraging the people of Dominica to pay particular attention to their immune system, because we believe that's the best defense that we have against this virus or any other virus. And of course, corona may not be the end of it. There may be more coming in the future. But ourselves, we need to take care of ourselves. And at the end of the day, that's what we have to fight with. Governments can do everything they can. Different organizations can do everything they can. At the end of the day, it comes down to us. If we contract it, what happens to us? How do we fight it?
The opposition leader has issued a call to go back to basics in this fight against the coronavirus.
We cannot do with this coronavirus any better than being the best human beings we can. You know, if we are the best human beings we can be, the impact of corona will be minimized in Dominica. And being the best human beings that we can be means taking care of ourselves and taking care of other people as well, loving our neighbors as ourselves. And taking advantage of the information that is now available to us.
Linton says Dominica is blessed as it remains on a list of countries not yet affected by the virus, but the preparation must continue.
What is the worst case scenario we're planning for? We have around 60,000 people in Dominica. God forbid the virus arrives in Dominica and within a matter of weeks to months, we end up with 25% of the population affected. God forbid. That's 15,000 people. Of those 15,000 people, the numbers we're seeing around the world suggest that 9 to 10% of those will be serious cases. Some of them requiring hospitalization. Do we have the capacity, on top of what we are dealing with right now? These are the hard questions and decisions that have to be made. So then comes a question, Mr. Chair, about the tough decisions.
Linton says some of these tough decisions include whether it's time for Dominica to consider shutting down its borders. And scale down activities for Consumer Rights Day in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. We go again to Andrea Louis, who tells us more.
World Consumer Rights Day is recognized on 15th March and is aimed at raising awareness on consumers' rights and needs. Here in Dominica, activities are also on the cards for the month of March, but taking on a different format in light of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We was expecting to have a big symposium on the Monday, the 16th, as the real program, but because of Corona, we decided to bring a lot of stakeholders together. We had to kind of dampen it and postpone it to another time. Most likely in June, July. But we have other activities that we have planned for that day, which is like one of the for the month is like a consumer blitz, where we'll be giving discussion on radio and a tongue also to our consumers on their rights, and also we'll be distributing some compost tumblers at Taru.
On Tuesday, the Dominica Consumer Protection Association completed Phase 3 of its solid waste management project in Taru by distributing compost tumblers.
We are now in a third phase of that project where we're going to be giving the community members compost tumblers that they can actually use to do composting at home. Because the original 2 phases was the cleanup and education program. Educate them and clean up campaigns, and we had also the delivery of bins, that is what you call recyclable bins, that they can now separate their waste and use those bins to put only the non-biodegradable waste, like tins, plastics and bottles. We're going to be putting the service management truck comes to collect it on a specific Thursday in the month.
World Consumer Rights Day 2020 was recognized under the theme, The Sustainable Consumer.
This year they're promoting the concept of sustainable information, because we don't want to be giving people information that is wrong and erroneous. And you're saying your product is doing A and it's actually doing B or C. So when you're saying on the label it's doing X, Y, Z, in other words, you label a product as organic, it should be organic. So with us here we talk about consumer rights and the way we talk about the environment. One of the rights, international rights of consumers and people around the world is to live in a clean and healthy environment. So that's the right. We have the right to have goods that is safe and sound and not creating problem to health. They also have the right to redress.
The Dominica Consumer Protection Association is a fairly young association. However, its General Secretary believes it is having a positive impact on the Dominican consumer. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Avec flow, gagner l'argent, on partit l'argent avec flow. Gagner l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec flow. Animé on top up, sign up. join Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. A halt to ferry services between Dominica and the French departments as France shuts down its borders. Consumer Rights Day activities scaled down because of the COVID-19 virus and concerns surrounding it. An opposition leader pledges to join the fight against the coronavirus. You may access our newscast on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.